All right, so plan on making this a short video, so um, I don't know if I'm going to wait for anyone to get in here, but I just wanted to start talking about what some of the language that seemed quite scary meant. And first off, you have to the definition of what a common share is. What they have rights to or ownership to. So common shares represent an ownership interest in a company and give investors a claim on its operating performance and the opportunity to participate in the corporate decision-making process, and a claim on the company's net assets in the case of liquidation. Okay. So first off, do you want to participate in the corporate decision-making, or do you trust that Ryan Cohen's coming? Um, can you adequately gauge the operating performance and want to voice your opinion about it? Um, do you want a piece of the liquidation? So there was a liquidation, and there was, I think, $895 million recovered from what was liquidated. Do you want a chunk of that? Um, that is the question, and uh, I would say no, right? Uh, so let's see. I have a few things to go through. I mean, first off, this is from docket 1713, I think. Uh, so I think that's one clarification. I don't know if they added this. I don't know if it was there before. I didn't notice it before, at least. It says the plan provides the best available alternative for the debtor's estates and creditor recoveries, right? We're one of the creditors. If the debtor's businesses were liquidated, it says if, in a Chapter 7, which this isn't, process, store closing processes likely would have halted, right? Forcing locations to go dark and resulting in the termination of employees until a trustee could turn the lights back on, right? They have a plan administrator, they don't have a trustee. That's the difference between Chapter 11 and Chapter 7, okay? And that's great news, right? And that's also why they went into it voluntarily. It says, even then, employees with critical institutional knowledge, this is referring to Chapter 7, which it isn't, would have left, right? So we have Patty Wu, right? That's the best example of critical employees, right? So yes, it's sad that you lose a lot of employees, but also if someone's acquiring it, they might have a different way of hiring people and already have people they want in certain positions. And so, they're keeping critical employees. And that's an important difference also between Chapter 11 and Chapter 7. So, uh, you know, so in the Chapter 7, it says, even then, employees with critical institutional knowledge would have left, leaving behind a large and complex liquidation to be managed by new hires who are unfamiliar with the debtor's businesses. Those hires would be part of the trustee. They wouldn't be part of the company, right? They wouldn't be hired by the company. It's literally would be what a neutral third party would be doing. The needless loss of value to creditors and the debtors' estates would be insurmountable. Obviously, right? Like and to have such a valuable company and then just to get pennies on the dollars, right? They know that that needless loss of value would be stupid. So the fact that everyone, all the haters keep trying to suggest that's what we're doing, it's odd, to say the least. Creditors would receive lower recoveries in Chapter 7 because the debtors' estates necessarily would bear additional costs associated with transitioning to Chapter 7, retaining a Chapter 7 trustee, counsel, and advisors, and administering Chapter 7 process. That's the whole reason why they needed a DIP loan, right? Is so that they could actually pay for the restructuring and that process. Otherwise, they would just assign a trustee and then they would start liquidating and money would come from that. and it would first go to the trustee, the council, and the advisors. It wouldn't go to the company or shareholders or anything, right? So the debtors believe that the plan maximizes stakeholder recoveries in these Chapter 11 cases, right? And that's still the plan, right? This is what they just filed just yesterday or this morning. The debtors seek the bankruptcy court's approval of the plan and urge all holders of claims entitled to vote to accept the plan by returning their ballots so that the notice of claims agent, Kroll Restructuring Administration, LLC, actually receives such ballots by the voting deadline, i.e., September 1st, 2023 at 4 p.m. Prevailing Eastern Time. Assuming the plan receives the requisite acceptances, the debtors will seek the bankruptcy court approval of the plan at the hearing schedule for the September 12th, 2023 at 2:30 p.m. prevailing Eastern Time, i.e. the combined hearing. Okay. So, I mean, this part just kind of goes a little bit more into that. So the allowed interests over here, if you actually look at the Chapter 11 Bankruptcy Code 510, it's talking about subordination of like, so we're subordinated to the higher, more senior interest holders, right? So there are allowed interest. Is it like there's allowed interest that's or claims, but that's associated with the purposes of distribution. Distribution of what? The shared proceeds pool, right? So they're basically separating Bed Bath and Beyond, the ticker, and the critical employees, and the just everything that is Bed Bath and Beyond from this shared proceeds pool of liquidated assets. So there will be people who will get paid out. There's a waterfall that happens. I should have highlighted it over here. And so what happens is there's these liens, there's these claims basically that hold up the company, and so those holdups, those liens, are on the company until that waterfall. There we go, waterfall recovery, right there, gets distributed, and then those claims are satisfied, and that's up to the judge to say whether they're satisfied, right? So he's going along with the process, and they're like, we have this plan, we're going to do this waterfall in this way, and once that happens, all those liens then are lifted, which that's exactly what we want. Is we want Bed Bath and Beyond and Bye Bye Baby to be separated from all their baggage. I have let's see if I okay. Another folder. Oh, it was there. Okay. Yeah, here we go. All right. So here we have what Bed Bath and Beyond was, right? We had a crappy CEO destroying the company. We had more than $2 billion worth of unwanted leases. We had a 500 million ABL loan. We had an unprofitable Blue Yonder deal, right? There was lots of nasty baggage, but on top of that, we had all these different kind of claims, lawsuits, whatever. Everyone wanted a piece of whatever they could get, right? So part of that, there's a dual track where they both wind down and satisfy those people, meanwhile start up a business, right? Start up the new business, or they sell it. If they would have sold Bye Bye Baby to Ryan Cohen, or if they would have sold Bed Bath and Beyond to Overstock or to Carl Icahn, all of those proceeds would go into the liquidation pool, right? Into that shared profits pool, rather than to become equity in the company. So, they started as that being, I guess, the choice, but it actually makes a lot more sense to not have that be the choice, to just do, instead of a dual track, to do a sequential track where, okay, we're going to do the liquidation, we're going to do the waterfall, and we're going to cut literally all ties to what this company used to be, so that, all the different liens or claims it has on it, so that once it moves forward, the shareholders get the benefit from anyone that's going to be purchasing it. Because, right, wouldn't that be sad, right, if the amount that Ryan Cohen gives, all these people come out of the woodworks to try and make claims saying that they deserve part of that, right, even though they don't have shares in the company, right? They're like, oh, well, because I worked for this shipping company, or because of this, there's just gonna be so much money, they're going to want part of that. And so it just makes a heck of a lot more sense to separate the two. And so instead of the dual track where they're both go simultaneously, they're just getting one completely done out of the way and then moving on to the next one. And the fact that they're doing this just shows how smart they are. And yes, that does mean the timeline is a little bit longer than we had anticipated. And my guess is that the dual track model would have been, and I mean, that is what they stated it was going to be, was they were going to open up their doors on August 1st. But since they're changing to the sequential model, then they're not. So it does mean we will have to wait a little bit longer, but I think that's totally fine. So let's see. I'll share also. Is there? I guess that's kind of it. That's kind of the bulk of what I wanted to say. I don't know if I want to how long away. I mean, we're big on the PB show later tonight. I just kind of wanted to put this together, and I know emotions have been crazy, but yeah. Long and short of it is, shareholders, we're going to get what we want. It's just going to be a little bit longer. This docket, I think it's 13 or it's 1713, and let's see what page it was. Yeah, 1713, page like 14. So I highly recommend reading through that. It doesn't take that long. I'm just gonna. What's up, everyone? Thanks for all stopping by. Love you all. Let's see. So yeah, the new time frame, it says it right there, right? September 1st and then September 12th. So yes, that's gonna be a little while. So, but I mean, you just think about what you have, right? We get to keep. I mean, we have we have the ticker with the short interest on it, right? Uh, and and we have Teddy. I mean, it's with Teddy is going to start off with a bunch of nulls, and I don't know. It's going to be great. Yeah, we're in a good spot. Just make sure you have enough money to get by for the next month and a half, because I mean, who knows, right? When people start understanding what the pathway forward is, like, it still could take off. The I think certain people are looking for to clear certain obstacles for them to feel confident, because Um, I mean, they can't necessarily do things out of order, right? Like they can't. I don't know that Ryan Cohen or Carl Icahn can just be like, "Yeah, I want this," but like, can you just clean up the mess first? Because like, the clean up the mess part has legal implications. So, um, uh, yeah. So I'm not sure how that all goes down in the background, but all I know is there's a company, like it's not liquidation. There is tons left of Bed Bath and Beyond and of Bye Bye Baby. If the Lazard thing is true, I mean, we were kind of calculating last night that um, I don't know. I it would take. Actually, maybe I'll just look it up real quick. How much does overstock stock? Let's see how much cash on hand they got. Okay. Um, I mean, Overstock has. It looks like they got, as of recently, they have 340 million cash on hand, but they have been making quite a bit. Um, I don't know. I mean, I could imagine them either maybe using equity, then maybe giving portion of the money and then some equity for the Bed Bath and Beyond portion. I mean, the CEO did say that he was thinking about the ticker, and I don't think they can have the ticker until they actually own the rest of the company. I mean, it's possible. I guess they could swap, and then Bed Bath could use a different ticker, but um, I'm pretty sure Bed Bath has first claim to their own ticker. Um, but yeah, or I could see IEP, wanting Bed Bath and Beyond, and yeah, we'll see. But we're in a good spot. That's all I had to say. But love you all, and I'll see you later on the PP.